This is Faith Not Included. It is the show where we talk about those crazy claims and conspiracy theories. It is a part of the Atheist Network group. I'm your host, Skids the Clown. Usually with me is the Reverend Brother Heathen Jimmy Lou, but he decided to take a vacation today. So unfortunately, he won't be joining me at this moment. But like usual, we do have our producer, Wes. Producer Wes, can you say hi to everybody? No, like I already told you, he's just on vacation. You can't have his stereo. Besides, I already called dibs on it. Look, we're not doing this on air. Besides, we already recorded all of our stuff. So we've got a show and nobody's even going to notice that Jimmy's not here. So with that said, let's go ahead and start those headlines. All right, everybody, in this week's headlines, Kat Kerr will be joining us.
Whoa, Skids. This is a special episode. We're talking to the people of the future. Ooh.
Right.
We're in the past, Skids.
Because you're on vacation, we decided to pre-record this. We already talked to the audience about this. Well, you weren't
here. Future audience. The future audience.
I guess you weren't there, so it was the future. But
it was, yes. It is but we're still in the past. But when they watch this, it's going to be the future. But and the recording will be from the past, but in the future, in this, and then we turn into the Fly like Jeff Goldblum because of the teleportation. And we have to be really careful.
Is that why we have by our names past Skids and past Reverend Brother?
We don't want to screw up the timeline. And so if our future selves bump into our past selves, and it could be messy. Skids.
But shouldn't it say future Skids? Because basically when this is shown, it'll be in the future.
Yes, but we're from the past. In the future. That's why we're past in the future, not future from the past. We can't be from the future and watching in the past show.
This doesn't make any sense. Time travel is dumb.
Oh God, it really is dumb. Oh man, this time, and it's very tiring, this time travel business.
It is.
No one told me when we would do time travel that it would be this exhausting.
It's like we've been up for 48 hours. So we probably should just move on and get these stories done.
Sure.
Our first story, as I was saying, prophetess Kat Kerr claims that volcanoes are in heaven, but they're there for fun and you can ride the lava.
Oh my God. This woman, wasn't she like one of Trump's like right-hand people and spouters of him? And
again, this is why we should always question what Trump has in mind, because this is the type of person that supports him. So the story says, self-proclaimed, I should say that this came from the Friendly Atheist before we get started. Self-proclaimed Christian prophetess Kat Kerr was recently asked by the always gullible Steve Schultz what the weather was like in heaven. And after claiming that it rained in heaven once in a while, she went ahead and expanded and said, but there are no earthquakes, because earthquake is a weather phenomenon according to Kat Kerr. But she said there was no earthquakes and said that there was nothing destructive in heaven, but there are heavenly volcanoes. But it's okay, they're not destructive. They're like rides in an amusement park. And they don't hurt people. You can ride them for fun, and you could just go whee as you're riding the lava out.
Well, why not? If we're all just making shit up, well, why not? In my head, I could fly around, and I've got a regular sized penis, not a small one, but a regular sized one, because I can dream too about very spectacular things too, Cat Kurt. Two can play that game.
I have to imagine Cat Kerr just kind of sitting in a room, somebody asking her what was in heaven, and just whatever freaking popped in her head that very moment without putting any thought in it whatsoever is what's in heaven. And then she had to explain how it's in heaven, even though it's absolutely ridiculous why that's in heaven.
Yeah, don't you have a video of that? That exact
I just happen to have that exact thing. Let's take a look.
That exact thing.
Stevie, heaven is a place of happiness and joy and joyfulness. In heaven, ice cream doesn't give you brain freeze.
Really?
And in heaven, you can eat pizza right out of the oven without burning the top of your mouth. And in heaven, you can perform a sweet roundhouse kick.
Really?
And in heaven, you don't ever poop, but you still fart. And when you fart, it smells like frankincense.
Really?
And in heaven, there are dinosaurs, and they can talk, and they're really funny, and have a sweet singing voice.
Really?
And in heaven, you can eat fireworks, and they taste like Pop Rocks.
Really?
Stevie.
Whoa!
This has got absolutely no basis in reality. She's literally just making shit up as she goes, apparently.
Oh, Cat's got a great imagination. Oh, shit. I thought the fucking wacky town going up in the old Reverend's head was pretty fucking bad. That one makes me feel better about myself every day.
I just hear all the kids talking about their Sunday school teachers teaching about the heavenly volcanoes.
God damn it.
All
God
right.
damn it.
Moving on to our next headline. For any of you who have watched our show recently, you know that Jimmy and I got in a little bit of trouble for talking about a certain subject. And we said we probably wouldn't talk about it too much anymore. But God damn it, the world just keeps throwing this shit, and I have to talk about it. So, Christian radio host who discouraged getting the vaccine dies of COVID. Hold on. There is a special thing that we always save for just such an occasion.
God damn it. I never get tired of that. Every time when it's fit perfectly, it hits you in the old feels, in the old cockles of the feels. My God. So someone who advocated against the vaccine regularly had an audience and told other people not to get the vaccine.
Exactly. So technically, we're not talking about the vaccine. We're talking about Jimmy DeYoung Sr., the host of the Christian radio show Prophecy Today, is a man who spread misinformation about COVID to his audience and discouraged everyone who listened to him from getting vaccinated. He actually compared the vaccine to receiving the mark of the beast. Well, this past weekend, Jimmy passed away. And he passed away of COVID. Because he was unvaccinated. There, I said it.
Get your shots, kids. It's important.
Yeah,
follow the guidelines that the medical experts tell us to do.
So we don't get in trouble for talking about this too long. We're going to move on. But
yes. And then move on. And
this is what happens when you spread misinformation.
And
the irony is so delicious.
It is, but listen, we are not laughing.
We're not going to focus on this anymore.
No, but no one's that someone died. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, exactly. Just so our viewing audience knows, we do not celebrate the death of Jimmy DeYoung Sr. We do like to point out the irony that somebody who downplayed a pandemic and did not listen to the advice of medical experts happened to pass away from the very illness that he spread misinformation about.
And here is the problem, folks. When dealing with these people that are like neck deep in conspiracy theories and they're not based in reality. This is the only fucking thing that it's like, okay, I concede, you win, you're right. Like you fucking present evidence after evidence after evidence. No. Until you're fucking 6 feet deep. That's the only time they're like, okay, fine, maybe you're right. Maybe his fucking family, people around him, will finally wake up and realize this is a serious disease and we need to take the medicine that we're supposed to. Anyways, let's move on, Skids!
Absolutely. So another very serious topic that we do want to discuss in this week's headlines. The Taliban conquest of Afghanistan.
Oh,
Such
God,
a
this is
sad
scary.
story.
And it's so fucking scary. This is, God, scary.
Let's not really focus on who really started this war, which has been actually ongoing for over 20 years, and whether it was a GOP president who was responsible for starting to pull troops out, or the current administration's mishandling of removal of troops from an area when it was deeply compromised and not making any adjustments. No, let's not point fingers on this. Let's just focus on the terrifying aspect of that we have a Sharia law government taking hold of an entire country and forcing their beliefs and their personal ways of life onto everyone under grave consequences.
Yeah. And let's grieve for every single woman that's in the country right now because their lives are greatly in danger. Let's grieve for every member of the LGBTQ community that are out there because their lives are in danger.
Yes. And any person who doesn't believe in that religion. And it could be non-believers. It can be Christians. It could be any other faith. Now, we know the history of this regime and how they treat those who do not believe the same way in them. And that's the thing. This is a step back in not just religious freedom. It's a step back in freedom as a whole. Now, I've heard that the Taliban has said that they're going to reevaluate some of their treatment of women. And the reason they're saying that is because people are deathly afraid right now because they know what this is going to bring.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is the things we just mentioned, the treatment of the LGBTQ community, the second-class citizenship of females in the country, the restriction of religious freedoms and stuff like that. This sounds eerily familiar because that's exactly what white Christian nationalists want to do here in the States. They want this exact thing. This is their talking points. It's the same exact thing. They want to subjugate the LGBTQ community so that they have less freedoms. They want women to be treated as second-class citizens. They want people who don't believe in their exact same faith to actually either be forced into their faith or not have a say on the way the government is run. So it doesn't matter if it's Islamic extremists or Christian extremists. Theocratical governments are something to be scared of.
Yeah. And you remember this. This is easy talking points. And I think that's what's great about our show. And, you know, like, we're not the smartest guys, but we sometimes have some good advice. Sure. Yeah, for sure. But one thing you could point out to any religious person or anything, you look at any country that is run by any religion, especially Islam, but if it's a religion-run country, it's a fucking nightmare. It's a nightmare. It always has been, always will be, across the board. And this is just another example. And this is why we need to speak out against these superstitious ideas, because this shit is dangerous.
And I can already hear some of you theists saying this, but what about China and what about Russia? Oh, all the people that died under this atheist religion's governments. First of all, the atheism in those countries is not what the government is based around. It's based around dictatorial governments that take control. They just don't like to share their power with churches. So it's not because of the atheism that China is the way China is. So don't even try to compare the two, because it's a false equivalency.
Atheism makes no tenets. You can't attribute anything to it. It doesn't make any tenets. It doesn't make any comments on morality or anything. It's the answer to one question. Do you or do you not believe in God? That's it. And if you don't believe in the God claim, any of the God claims, you're an atheist. That's it. So just because those rulers who were awful, did horrible things, did not push their religion, doesn't mean it has anything to do with atheism. Exactly. This has a lot to do with religion. The Taliban used religion as a weapon. Now, we're not big experts, but come on. This is what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And we should all be concerned, and we should all be speaking about this and conscious about what's happening.
I would expect in the future weeks that we're going to be talking about this subject more and more. It's definitely something to keep our eye on. Yeah. So we will move on to our next headline. Speaking of being enraged about something, we got some interesting news this week. Apparently, there is a certain online young Earth creationist who is actually launching a smear campaign against us here at the Atheist Network Group. And it's hateful and disgusting.
Our ace reporter out in the field, Ace got this story, and he found this. That's right, and he unearthed this, and he's brought it to light, and he's brought it to our attention. And we are angrier than a bunch of badgers in a deli with no meat. This is awful.
Ace got him as some friend of Jimmy's. I've never met the guy.
He's a great reporter. He's a great reporter.
I don't know if he's reliable, but
he got us this information. How could you? Oh my God. When we saw this video, I'm telling you folks, gosh darn it, words and just, I was fired up. Something fierce. It is, I'm so angry. I'm so fired up. How can he say these horrible things and do this to us? How can he attack us and tag like this? This is terrible.
Yeah, Ken Hovind did not hold back any punches.
No.
Instead of us talking about it, let's show it so you can make your own decision.
Okay. Listen, I'm so mad.
It's Tuesday morning, and we are here with a special concern to share with all you good folks out there. Now, there are many harmful religions out there that are fighting desperately for Satan. Now, we do the best we can, friends, to shed light on these forces working against God's will. We already know who wins the fight, folks. They're fighting a losing fight. Now, we've talked about how Islam for millennia have been trying to take over the world. We've talked about the harmful satanic message of evolution being taught to our children. Evolution would have you believe that you're related to a mosquito, which came from a rock, which came from a dot of nothing. Evolution is a lie, and folks, it's a religion. Now, if you don't see that, well, you've got a head full of rocks. Now, I was a teacher of science and math for 15 years, and I can tell you assuredly that God created all of us. And if you don't start believing in gods, well, you're going to burn in eternal hellfire. Now, we all know that atheism is also a religion that preaches evolution and Marxism and this crazy notion that you came from nothing. It has crazy tenets that teach you can do whatever you want and there's no consequences. Go ahead, have sex with a gay dog, marry a 1986 Chevrolet Cavalier. Who cares? If there is no God, there are no laws of goodness or objective morality. There aren't consequences in anything this atheist religion has to offer. Okay, it's a one-way path that leads to eternal hellfire and away from God's gracious love. Now, we've spent many shows talking about the evil religion of feminism and the destructive talk about so-called equality of women. These are only talking points to break up the family and give power to abortionists and their horrible religion of abortion. Abortion and feminism are the sword and shield religions of Satan himself, a powerful weapon in his arsenal. Now, just remember, a woman who considers herself at the head of the family or equal with her husband, well, is only a woman who walks with Satan and will make your children autistic or even Democrats. Socialism is definitely a dangerous religion that Satan's army uses to blind the masses to God's message of love and compassion. Don't be fooled, folks. Jesus never advocated for welfare or universal health care. These are satanic talking points to lead this new generation of young minds away from God's love and straight to eternal hellfire. Speaking of impressionable young people, we had a whole show dedicated a couple of years ago. Some of your followers of my channel might remember of the uprising of the religion of sex toys and the dangers of sinful self-gratification. We all know that women, especially through sexual gratification, can open portals that lead straight to hell. Young people experiencing their sexuality apart from the marriage bed can invite all kinds of filthy demons into their lives that will eventually lead them to eternal torture from an all-loving God. Now, the point of reminding you all of this is that the only true religion is the one that we preach here. Now, trust us, folks. We're the only ones with God's real message. Now, there's another dangerous and deceitful religion gaining national attention and will be holding a very anti-God agenda convention this October 9th and 10th. This new religion is called the Atheist Network Group, or TANG for short, and it's been growing steadily. Now, because we bring you the truth of Jesus and are vessels of God's grace, we need to expose this anti-Jesus group to you, okay? They have their ministers broadcast their anti-Jesus satanic messages every night on YouTube. Their following in the blind atheist communities is growing. I'm afraid, folks, that if we don't take a stand and bring light to this dark movement, well, they might be able to overcome God's will for our nation going forward. Let's not forget that evolution is a direct lie and that Jesus made America for Jesus. Now, their goal of proving how harmful Christian nationalism and blind faith can be goes directly against my unwavering belief in a creator named Jesus. And my belief that the U.S. of A. is the greatest country that is ruled by God and is being attacked by horrible atheists. Now, just because we think that atheists shouldn't have rights, that doesn't mean we aren't your friends. We just don't want you to burn forever for not believing what we're telling you. The TANG group is highly influential on their own. But this so-called conference they're having has some of the biggest names in the atheist religion. Okay, this conference goes directly against God's laws and will. We must expose it for the harm it can bring to God's ministry on earth. Here we have the testimony of a brave young person who was enticed to promote this wicked event called Better for monetary gain. She was being paid to do an awful commercial for the conference. Now, this reenactment I will be showing you has the names changed in order to protect her identity. She immediately, after spending the money she got from the commercial on new shoes that were on sale at Shoe Slut Emporium, felt remorse and begged God for forgiveness. Now, her testimony is a powerful reminder that we need to stay steadfast in the hope of Jesus, lest we be tempted to sin. Now, this video is not for the faint of heart. Now, if you have little ones, we recommend that you have them leave the room while we present this reenactment of the Better event commercial being presented by the Tang religion.
Okay, for the camera, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your name and your age? And why do you want to do this commercial?
Hi. Okay. My name is Rebecca, and I'm 19 years old. I want to meet a nice Christian man and get married, and my pastor says that the best way for a young lady to meet a good Christian man is to go to a nice seminary. So I need money to go to my local Christian college. I'm not really sure what this is about, but I answered an ad for acting in a commercial. And since I need money, I thought I'd say, what the heck? I'll try it out.
What we're filming here is a commercial. You could say there's a little event happening in October 9th and 10th in Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's called Better. And girl, you got the look I'm looking for. I think you'd be perfect for the role, and you're exactly what I have in mind. Are you interested?
I guess.
Good. That's the right answer, my girl. Just read the script in front of you.
Okay. I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay. All right. Please join us October 9th and 10th for a weekend of amazing speakers, debates, and discussions. Better is an atheist event devoted to teaching the importance of better communication, building better atheist community, and how to engage with those that are deeply indoctrinated. Oh no! This is horrible! Oh, baby Jesus! Please forgive me! I can't read this! This is awful! You never told me this was an event for atheists! I thought this was a commercial for food! Or maybe at worst, pornography. I could have been okay with pornography. I could have done it. I never thought I would be involved with an atheist commercial. Oh my. This is awful. Just awful.
Listen, you B-word. You know who I am. I'm the world famous atheist director. I've directed all the best commercials for my religion, atheism. My work is world renowned in turning others away from the saving grace of Jesus Christ. My commercials for socialist abortion doctors made me a very rich man. And I'm not going to be lectured by some girl. This conference of high-level atheist preachers is way too important for you to mess this up, young lady. So you just shut your mouth and say your gosh darn lines, or you won't get $1 of this dirty, filthy atheist money. Our clients from the Atheist Network group pay very well and are very important in the atheist religion. And I won't have you screwing this up. This commercial is going to pay for my mistress's abortion, who I'm having an affair with, on my wife, so I can buy more abortions and weed drugs. So we can have a drug-fueled sex party and worship the devil and have even more abortions. I have a horrible addiction to weed, drugs, and abortions. And I need to keep making commercials like this and serving my masters at Big Atheism, or else my sins will swallow me up whole. Now you shut up and say your darn line.
It's oh, baby Jesus, please forgive me. Oh, it's a time of learning and laughing with some of your favorite atheist creators. We hope to see you there. Special guests include Seth Andrews, Dr. Joshua Bowen, T-Chop, Anthony Magnabosco, what? Cynthia McDonald, oh no, a woman speaker, oh God, oh Jesus, forgive me. And Dave Warnock and the members of the YouTube, the Atheist Network group. Baby Jesus, please forgive me.
I'm done with you. Get out of my sight, you make me sick. Go on now. Get on. Get out of here. Go on now.
So as you can see, folks, this is a dangerous movement aimed at taking souls away from the loving grace of Jesus Christ and on a path of horrible torture made by Jesus Christ. It's important that we go there and protest this blasphemous event. My wife and I, and this is a picture of her, will be traveling together and have our reservation for October 9th and 10th. Join me and help bring the saving light of God's word so that these people don't suffer eternal darkness that comes from not believing exactly what we do. Okay, these unbelievers are living wicked lives. Now, these atheists need to be whacked by God's word. Okay, and I'm here to help. So now that's real truth. That's not me being mean. Me whacking you with truth is me being a friend. If I pushed you out of the way of a car, I'm being a friend. Whacking off atheists is my favorite thing to do. Here on my channel, I regularly whack off atheists. I've been known to whack off 20 to 30 atheists in a night. I'll whack an atheist anytime. I don't care who you are. If you're not a believer in exactly what I believe, I'll whack you off too, okay? With Jesus in me, I can whack off any atheist that comes my way. So I want to thank you, folks, and I hope to see you there in Fort Wayne, Indiana, at the Allen County War Memorial on October 9th and 10th. Let's come together and whack a bunch of atheists off together and show the world what Jesus is all about. Thank you for your time.
God damn it!
God,
You,
what
Jesus
an asshole!
Christ. What an asshole!
Oh my goodness!
Oh, fucking! Folks at home, can you imagine this garbage, this smear campaign, this propaganda that's being perpetrated against our movement and trying to color us as some kind of heinous religion? It's awful. It's just not true.
The lies that man spews. I mean, obviously, I've got to mention that his rank in the race for the Skids the Clown Most Punchable Face Award just went through the roof.
Oh my God. If he doesn't fucking win this year, man, it's rigged. That son of a bitch. Oh my God.
Did you see that smarmy smile on his face the whole time?
Oh my God.
And that
I don't care how
hair,
handsome he is.
And those stunning
I don't care if I want
eyes.
to kiss him.
It's
I don't care how pretty he
despicable
is.
how good looking he is and how intelligent he sounds when he speaks.
I know. It's terrible. It doesn't matter how he makes me feel inside. Jumping like a spring meadow.
We're mad. We're very mad.
We're very mad. There's a very bad person. Very bad, handsome person.
That's right. So definitely we'll keep our eye on Kent Hovind for any future videos that he might put out about
so bad. I'm so bad. I'm crying.
And our final story for tonight, Mike Lindell, he's the MyPillow guy who was launched into the public's eye because of his involvement with Trump last year. He was invited to the White House to speak about God's place in everybody's home while a global pandemic was killing hundreds of thousands of people. Well, Mike Lindell's story continues as election fraud has been his main focus in life instead of making his overpriced, undercomfortable lumps of whatever they are. So what has he been doing recently? Well, Mike Lindell has claimed that he has the evidence to overturn the elections and actually had personally guaranteed that Donald J. Trump was going to be president again no later than August 13th. Well, as we discussed at the beginning of these headlines, we're recording this from the past.
The past.
As far as I can tell from the future, Donald Trump is still not president. But that did not stop Mike Lindell from having his cyber symposium, which he was supposed to expose all the voter fraud and literally put all the information in place so that people knew why Biden was being escorted out of the White House and Donald J. Trump was being flown in to take his rightful place as president of the United States.
I was like really busy that day. So that didn't happen.
That didn't happen.
So Trump still isn't president?
Trump's not president.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. Again, this is from
But
the
Mike
past.
Lindell
We don't know
said
what's
that
going
was
to...
good. But Mike said
when we catch up with the future, maybe we'll be exposed to some dark reality where Mike Lindell is actually right about something.
Oh man,
but it's
maybe
not right now.
No, not right now. Okay, so okay, yeah.
As tens of people gathered to watch Mike Lindell at his symposium, and no evidence was really coming out, what is a pillow salesman to do other than call the police and claim that he was assaulted? Just possibly to gain some headlines.
What? He was assaulted?
He was assaulted. Well, by the time the police came, he kind of downplayed the assault and said that he got poked.
Really?
Let me go ahead and pull up the story here real quick because it's actually kind of interesting. What Mike Lindell says, this is so good. Hold on, let me get it. He claims that the two men approached him to take a photo, and after one of the photos was taken, a third man came out of nowhere to ask for a photo.
Oh.
Mike Lindell is quoted in saying, "He put his arm around me, gestured to his side as he was saying it. He said, there was pressure. It was so much pressure. I just knew if I did anything, there was something more coming. And then he jammed it in where there was just a piercing pain.
Oh my heavens.
I know.
Oh.
I think it was some sort of setup, he's added.
Oh.
He claimed that if only he would have fought back, maybe somebody would have actually caught the altercation on camera.
Always, the victim always blames themselves.
Yeah.
Always blames themselves. Mike, you are strong. You're
Plus,
strong,
he's
man.
claiming that nobody else has any evidence that this actually occurred.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
No one has any evidence. No one has any leads. No one. This is. Fuck that shit.
We're getting to the fucking bottom of this, Skids. I don't give a fuck what's happening tonight. We had a whole fucking thing. We had cartoons. We had fucking fireworks. We paid hundreds of dollars to have a whole fucking school
did.
choir come out on show and sing a whole song that I spent 2 weeks writing. And I got
That's
my grandma's last words put into the lyrics. And then there was like, no, fuck that. We're getting to the bottom of this shit. And we're going to find out who assaulted our national treasure, Mike Lindell.
But how are we going to do this? What
I don't
can we
care.
do?
We're going to do it. We're calling out the team. We're calling out the team tonight, kids.
We're going to do it?
We're
going
doing
to
it.
actually going to launch Faith Not Included's These Unsolved Mysteries show?
You know it.
I've been waiting for this. All right, hold on, everybody. Let's play the intro music.
We're going live. We're going live.
Our next segment on Faith Not Included, we are going to look at the hard-hitting story of what happened last Wednesday at Mike Lindell's Cyber Symposium. Apparently, the man was assaulted. And we here at Faith Not Included are not going to stand for these unsolved mysteries. So tonight, we are going to take a hard look at the mystery of who poked Mike Lindell. With me tonight, our co-host and forensics expert, Jimmy Lou. Jimmy, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing very, very well in my Faith Not Included forensics expert position. Humble opinion. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you.
And as we look at the Faith Not Included, These Unsolved Mysteries, patent pending, we also need additional help to get to the bottom of this case. So we've brought in our good friend, Michael Wiseman. Michael Wiseman is a fellow Promethean Secular Frontier member, as have I, who has a show, a podcast, and a book, all suspiciously named the same thing, called The Bible Says What?
And he's the greatest He's the greatest podcaster of all time. I just love him. He's my bestest friend of all time. Mike Wiseman's just the greatest.
Calm down.
Greatest.
Calm down, Jimmy. We have not finished introducing him yet.
I'm
Michael
sorry,
Weiss.
but he-
Michael Weiss. Quiet. I'm talking here. Michael Wiseman has an advanced degree in the scientific method of nedgery with a focus in pokology. He should be able to bring a very important perspective on this case.
And he's really awesome. So he's going to give us some great, awesome advice. He's just awesome at everything.
Thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a little known fact that I do have that degree in nudgeology and pokeology. So, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
We know someone that has this very specific training.
Very specific. Now, that brings up a good question. Are you familiar with the case of Mike Lindell?
I heard about it recently, yeah.
Yes. Apparently, he called in to authorities last Wednesday to report a assault. Now, as the investigation took place, it found out it wasn't so much of an assault, but more of a poking. But we need to get to the bottom of this. Is this a true poking, or maybe was this more of a prodding?
Maybe he got tapped.
I think he did get tapped pretty well.
Or could I say, did he get rammed? Possibly.
Well, according to the report, he felt a little bit of pain, and then he doubled over. So it's definitely possible he got rammed.
Doubled over, you say?
Yes.
That sounds like a classic thrusting, in my opinion.
I believe he felt some thrusting as well.
Yes. Wow. Yes. So our forensics team has compiled a list, Michael, and we're here at the Faith Not Included. We're going to get to the bottom of this mystery. And so
Absolutely.
We want to get your humble opinion, your professional opinion, of course, of these
well-researched suspects.
well-researched and scrutinized under very high scientific methods.
Absolutely.
So this is our list of suspects that we have. So the first one is an old guy back from the 50s, and
I believe Mike Lindell is an old guy from back in the 50s too.
Yeah, you gotta be more specific than that, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Well, you may have heard of Mr. Whipple. He was the Charmin spokesperson until he was let go of his position.
Or was he eaten by a bear?
No. Those shitting bears who love to shit like all the time.
That's all they talk about.
That's all they do. That's all they do. Shit, right?
Lots of Charmin before.
Yeah, they took his job, and so Mr. Charmin was always getting upset about like who would be squeezing his Charmin. So we're wondering, maybe he just snapped and he went into poke mode instead of squeezing.
Possible.
No, I totally disagree. As the investigation took place, we find out that Mr. Whipple is his name. He loved to squeeze. A squeeze is not the same as a poke or a prod. I think you're barking up the wrong tree on this. Let's move on.
No, but you're not understanding. Like maybe he progressed from squeezing to poking. There's a natural progression to people who are serial pokers who start off squeezing.
I don't think you have enough evidence on this one. Let's move on. I am throwing out Mr. Whipple from this case.
You can't throw him out. He has
It's
to be
done.
on the table. We said, Skids, that we would get Michael's professional opinion. It's not up to you or me. It's up to his professional opinion. Who is our chief suspect?
As far as squeezing versus prodding, there's a difference there.
Yes.
So maybe we can set him aside for now and then move on to other suspects.
Okay.
There we go.
All right. We do have a long list. So
Let's hear it.
I love it.
okay. So we all know about the Pillsbury Doughboy and how much he fucking hates being poked.
Woo-hoo.
Maybe he had it. Maybe he fucking had it. We think that he snapped one day. He broke someone's fucking finger off that poked him one time. And just that's it. Fuck you! And he like fucking. That's all he's doing. He's a fucking. That's what I think.
That is a very possible suspect. What do you think there, Michael?
He's absolutely high on the ranks there for sure.
Yeah.
If there's anybody who looks doughy, like the Pillsbury Doughboy, it is Mike Lindell. I think we have a very strong case here.
Yes,
Jealousy.
classic PTSD and projection, and maybe he saw himself into Mike Lindell.
Yes.
Yes. Oh God.
Who else is on our list?
We have Curly from the Three Stooges. Obviously, in every assault case, he is one of our usual
A
suspects.
lot of poking going on there.
A lot of poking going on.
He's a serial poker.
Oh God, he can't stop poking. and slapping and
Yeah.
you can't stop. I can't do it, girl.
Master
You
poker,
know,
some might say.
Master poker. Now, here is a very obscure reference, but it has merit. Back in the 90s, many wrestling fans will remember that Hulk Hogan delivered the finger poke of doom to Kevin Nash, which was he poked Kevin Nash, and Kevin Nash fell down, and he covered him for the WCW championship. So maybe it was Hulk Hogan in his finger poke of doom that went and was poking everyone, and Mike Lindell got caught in the crossfires.
I doubt this one. I don't see any motive. What do you think there, Michael?
I don't know. Didn't he do an adult video recently? A lot of Hogan going on in that one, right? Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan did an
I
adult
hope
video.
you're talking about
Was there
Hulk
adult
Hogan
video?
and not Mike Lindell, because that's
my God.
really disturbing.
Mike in the pillow.
You're telling me that Hulk Hogan did a porno?
You mean you didn't see Mike in the pillow?
Oh,
No. Okay.
avert my eyes.
Mike
Terrible.
Lindell did the porno.
This is not getting us to the bottom of this case.
It's a possibility. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there.
I'm not saying
I'm an expert.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't jerk off to their porns. I'm just saying I wouldn't jerk off to the. Well, okay, I wouldn't not.
There's too many double negatives there. I'm confused. Let's move on.
Okay. Okay. Oh, what about? No one's talking about an obvious suspect, the Noid from the Domino's commercials back from the early '90s. The Noid,
Yes.
always getting.
Does anybody know who we're talking about here? I
The
would
Noid.
say no.
Come
He's gonna
on.
have the graphic up. I'm pointing to where his graphic is.
It'll
So
be there.
Somewhere.
This
I
guy.
will
Look
put
at
the
there.
graphic where you're pointing.
the Noid. The Noid. No one's fucking talking about the Noid.
He's a great suspect. He's always in there.
He's always causing shit.
What would his motive be? I'm confused on why
I
the
don't know.
Noid, who hates pizza, have anything to do with Mike Lindell.
Well, maybe. So, Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Lady
Why would
Gaga.
Lady Gaga be a suspect?
Well, she had that song, Poker Face. Maybe she poke a Mike.
Oh,
Poke a Mike. Maybe she poke a Mike. Maybe she didn't like him in the president's agenda. Maybe she had she's been very outspoken.
she has been saying that poker
I don't
face
know
into
what-
a mic.
What's that?
Oh,
She has been, she's been saying that poker face, poker face into a mic for years now.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
Prime suspect.
Why did we
Simple.
see this?
Is there a connection
Mind
there? I don't know.
blown.
Oh my God. I did see those dots to be connected.
Yeah, exactly.
God, I
The
did
picture is
see-
becoming
That's why I'm
much
here.
clearer now. I think
Oh my God.
faith not included in these unsolved mysteries might be getting closer to our actual suspect.
Okay, so now listen, folks.
Hmm.
This next suspect. You got his picture ready?
I believe I have it ready.
Okay, because this next one, man, he's a real fuckhead. He doesn't take no one's shit. He's a real son of a bitch, and he's taking no one's shit. This guy's a real fucking always in trouble.
Sounds
Poking
terrifying.
everyone. Poking everyone. He doesn't. I don't know. He's into everything. Oh man, I once saw him kill a drifter just for fun. This mother, oh god, put him up. I can't fucking. Oh my god,
Pokey
Ah,
little
that's the
puppy.
pokey little puppy. That fucker did it.
Never asked permission. Never. He just pokes.
He just pokes. God, he's got no fucking shame. That son of a bitch. Just fucking
Terrifying. It
is.
could be true. The ramifications of this is deep cutting.
Is that?
Do we have any more suspects?
We have lots. But goddamn, a fucking pokey little dog puppy. Goddamn. Oh god, I'm not sleeping well tonight. Woo! That's a roller coaster I wasn't ready for. Okay. Oh,
People
okay.
read that to their kids.
Exactly.
I know.
Well,
They don't.
they also
I
read
just
Noah's
don't.
Ark to their kids, so I see a pattern.
These parents. Oh my God. 80s parents, right?
Exactly.
80s parents. We all have them, but they fucking sucked. All right. Next one. Serious.
This is a serious show.
That's very
Everybody,
serious.
let's get back to work here.
Okay.
You're making me
This is-
cry here. You're making me cry.
Ready? Ready? I put it up on the screen. Ready? Here it goes. Pokemon. Pokemon.
Wait a minute.
Oh, it's in the
Pokemon?
title. It's in the title.
Which
in the
Pokemon?
He pokes a
What?
man. I mean,
Which Pokemon?
Oh,
You just said Pokemon.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
Pokemon?
It was Finger Blasto. He's the evolved form of Finger Bang. Yeah, so
I don't think that's a real Pokemon.
I'm also a Pokemonologist, and I'm telling you that's not a real Pokemon.
Oh, it's one
So-
of the rare kinds.
Several of our subscribers who love Pokemon have just quit, unsubscribed to this channel.
Or maybe we got more.
Or maybe they resubscribe because that would be a Pokemon many people would like to see.
I'm sure that's a hentai porn. Finger Blasto, the Pokemon, and some squid and a bunch of chicks getting nailed by them. But anyways, Pokemon.
Pokemon, yes, it's in the name. Very viable suspect.
Yeah, definitely.
Very viable. We also thought maybe it was a rival church gang that had put out a poke on Mike.
Yes, because that's what churches do. Is they don't drive by and shoot; they just poke you. Why would a church be so up to doing such a heinous act against Mr. Lindell? What
Because
would be
those-
their motive?
Because those Baptists and Protestants are all fucking crazy, man. And fucking throw in some Catholics in the mix, man. They'll put a poke on anyone. They don't give a shit.
Do you feel that Mike Lindell's grift of all this pillow money and stuff was making them jealous that they weren't getting that sweet conservative money anymore for their hatred of LGBTQ communities and vaccines?
Well, you do know that pillow money is right up there with like cell phones and oil and large commodities. It's traded at the NASDAQ pretty fucking.
Lumpy pillows are
It's
lumpy
traded on the
pillows are
NASDAQ. It's
high
traded on the
commodities.
NASDAQ really high, right up there with pig feed and water commodities and
Pokemon
oil
cards.
and gold
and Pokemon cards.
Yeah, and pillows. It's gold, silver, and pillows, and oil.
And Pokemon cards.
Very,
And
very-
Transformers.
and Transformers.
Oh man, I put all my money in Optimus stocks. And yeah, just this. I'm sitting pretty good. I'm gonna be able to retire. Pretty
You've
soon.
got your retirement, just like the guy who put all of his money into Beanie Babies. You've got your future secured.
That guy's. Oh man, that guy's set.
We're
Living the life.
off subject here. Let's get back to this faith not included unsolved mystery.
Yeah, yeah. Woo! Okay.
Who else do we got?
We got one last. We
got one last suspect.
Yeah.
One last foreign powers. Obviously, we can't exclude Russia and Japan and China interfering not only in your elections, but in the savior of the pillow world, Mike Lindell. We know how powerful and how much of a wanted and important man he is. So it is only natural to think that there could be foreign interference.
I would think that foreign powers that would like to see the destruction of the United States would embrace having Mike Lindell out in the public. So I don't find that a very logical conclusion right there.
Well,
I'd have to agree.
he's a very important man. He's a very important man. So
Yeah, apparently he had tens of people attend his symposium. So
tons of people. Wow.
tens of people.
That is
Now-
somebody leave in the middle of the conversation. And
Somebody
had take a
did.
phone
Somebody
call?
was literally
That was fantastic.
doing a presentation on stage, received a phone call, and they walked off stage to take the phone call. Because that's how important this is.
Quoting that he was live. Hey, I gotta take this. Hey, buddy, how you doing? This is live, by the way. Just so you know, you're interrupting Daddy while he's doing something important. That's not really that important.
Yeah. So, Michael, we have presented you with a list of suspects. And
Yes.
what is your opinion, sir, of
Well-
who you think committed this heinous?
With all the evidence at hand,
Yes.
I've come to one conclusion. It's
Yes.
one person.
Oh,
And this person is
yes.
the pokey little puppy.
Oh, shit!
Never asks for permission. He just goes around poking everybody, just thinks it's cool, and then teaches kids to do the same.
Yes.
It's definitely
Yes,
that guy.
yes, absolutely.
Bringing
I think,
youngsters into his life of crime.
I would
Such
Oh
a
my-
sad
agree on it.
story.
you know what, Mike? I think this is the first time ever on the history of this show and all our time working together that Skids and I have ever agreed on anything.
I
Ever.
think so.
And you have brought us together. For the
Yeah.
first time, we have agreed on something that son
Well
of a
done.
bitch needs to fucking fry. He needs to fry for touching and assaulting our national treasure, Mike Lindell, and his precious pillows.
Keep your
Fuck
nose
that
to yourself.
Fuck him. Oh, God, he makes me so goddamn mad. God, he makes me mad. Oh, I'm not going to. Oh!
Thank you so much, Michael Wiseman, for coming in and giving us your expert testimony and getting us to the bottom of this very heinous crime that was perpetrated to, as Jimmy said, one of America's national treasures. Hopefully, Mike Lindell will make a full recovery and be able to continue his pillow empire, selling lumpy pillows to those who just don't know any better, that they could just go to Target and buy a much better, cheaper pillow for, a third of the price. Are you okay?
Fuck that dog.
This has been Faith Not Included. If you like what you saw here tonight, and you must be a time-traveling pokey little puppy to like what the heck we just showed you tonight. But if you did like what you saw, please make sure that you like this show, you subscribe to the channel to see even more great content from the Atheist Network group, and share with your friends. Again, you must not like your friends if you're going to share this video. But if you do want to share this video, go ahead and make sure you do it. Special thanks tonight goes to Michael Wiseman from The Bible Says What, Dr. Josh for coming on and sharing some Kent Hovind style knowledge on all of us. And even in his very absence, Jimmy Lou, you just bring on the funny. We miss you, and we'll see you next week. And always, finally, Producer Wes for kind of putting up with the rest of us as we put this show on. So from myself, Producer Wes, and past version of the Reverend Heathen, we'll see you next time. To those who just don't know any better, that they could just go to Target and buy a much better, cheaper pillow for, a third of the price. Are you okay?
Fuck that dog.
Don't let your vein burst, Jimmy. You might have to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
I think you should cut it at the end right there at the fuck that dog. What do you think?
I think that's a good.
Yeah, Stevie. Yeah, and in heaven, Stevie, no one poops, but everyone's farts smell like frankincense and myrrh.
Really?
Yeah, Stevie. Come fart with us, Stevie. Stevie, we're in heaven. Stevie.